So today I want to talk about the best multi-tool in the world that is pocketable. Now, when I've talked before about the best multi-tool, I've talked about the Leatherman Surge because I feel like that is the best overall multi-tool if you can only get one. It covers a lot of the bases, but this right here will be the best multi-tool in the world that is pocketable. Now, last week I did a video and I did not talk about this tool, the Victorinox Spirit, because as you can see on the screen, online sources said it was like 5.7 ounces, and I thought this is way lighter than the weight range we have because I don't take all my multi-tools out and weigh them. A lot of times I'll scan online to see which is in what weight range, and so I just sort of trusted a lot of these online sources. Well, unfortunately, when I did the video, you guys were correct in saying, why didn't you mention this one, the Victorinox Spirit? Well, because I thought it was way lighter than the rest, and then I weighed mine, and this is only 7.6 ounces when I weigh it, or around there. You can see right there, out of the light, 7.7 or 7.6 ounces. When we turn it to grams, 216 grams. So why is this weight important? We have other lighter tools like the Solid Power Access or the Tellus, a multi-tool from SOG. Why is this important? Well, at 7.6 ounces, this is one of the only tools that has a full tool set. Is a really nicely designed tool, and there's three huge areas where this is just superior to every other tool out there. So the first reason this is such a great tool is quality. This is one of the best made multi-tools in the world, if not the best in its weight range and its capability. This recently has outshone even Leatherman, which before I would argue had a lot of quality standards and was known as one of the better multi-tools in the world. But now I believe the Victorinox Spirit is the most pocketable multi-tool that has the most quality. If I wanted a end-all multi-tool that was in this price range, yeah, the Victorinox Spirit is probably the one I would choose eventually because it is a really great tool and very lightweight. So not only quality, but as we've been talking about, this is the best weight to tool ratio I have ever found. I don't know that you can find a better quality made tool out there that has these many options for only 7.6 ounces. I reference the Solid Power Access. It has nowhere near the good knife blade that this one does, and this is the MX Clip, I believe it is. So this one is one-handed. You can open that one-handed, and then the can opener, Phillips screwdriver, smaller screwdriver, the scissors. So let's go ahead and do a scissor test with the Victorinox Spirit. Now I just recently got some new seat belt to test out with these multi-tools. Let's just go ahead, slice right through that seat belt. So I do have some strap right here that I did find. I have some extra. This is like the tow rope. So I'll go ahead, cut right through there for the other multi-tools to cut through. And then we'll cut through this inner tube. Yeah, these scissors are amazing. It's hard to describe how good these scissors are. So far, they have done great. Now, the jaws are, I feel like, a little bit small. So it's not that they can't cut through the paracord, it's just that they're a little small. There we go. If they were even larger, you could cut a lot better with them, but the cutting abilities of the scissors is, yeah, pretty much unmatched. So the great things that people say about the Victorinox Spirit scissors or the Victorinox scissors in general, I think is true. And these really bear that out. These are great scissors. We have the screwdriver, wire bender, bottle opener, chisel, wire strippers, saw right here. The awl, or not the awl, but the awl is right there actually. And then the file. Yeah, beautiful file right here. Really nice looking file. It's hard to find tools that look this nice in the multi-tool world. And then looks like there's like a little hook you can also use that for. But yeah, it just packs a bunch of tools. Really nice clip, really cool pliers. I think you can use that as a crimper at the bottom. I think you could. The wire cutters, these are not replaceable, but we have learned with Leatherman that's probably a good thing because replaceables are not always better. All the tools lock. They are outside accessible. Now this design, the elements for this design started around 1998, I believe, and perhaps even before that with Behr & Sons, but this is a really nice tool that was developed from the Behr & Sons design and then eventually became the Victorinox Spirit, done so much better. Victorinox really rescued that design from Behr & Sons, and we have this beautiful design that's lasted for years, almost, well, around 30 years now, and they've steadily made some improvements. These tools are so much easier to open from some of my older Victorinox Swiss tools, but yeah, these are really nice. Beautiful, beautiful craftsmanship on this tool. So quality, the weight, and then the price. That's another thing that is unmatched even with Leatherman. So with the Leatherman Wave, this is $130. And when I say price, what I mean is I guess this goes on sale for $120. I think it is at the moment. So it is cheaper than the Leatherman Wave, even though it is lighter and it is better quality. That is amazing. You get more for less. When do you ever hear that in today's world? But with the Victorinox Spirit, you do get more for less. So I think that is pretty amazing. Now, with the Wave, that doesn't mean that I hate the Wave. I do love a lot of things about it, but it's just not as good as this tool right here. Now, when we do talk about the Leatherman Wave, it is a little bit hard for me to say negative things against it because I really love the Wave platform. I have perhaps 8 to 10 different Leatherman Waves, some of them older styles, some of them newer styles. I have cut them down. I have added tools to them. I carry them probably every week, some version of the Leatherman Wave, my modded version, or not usually the Leatherman Wave as it comes standard. But yeah, I really love this platform. So when I talk about the Victorinox Spirit and the Wave not being as good, it's not that I don't like the Wave. It's just that, let's face it, the Victorinox Spirit is made better. Now for your Leatherman Wave, what you get is the diamond file, regular file, serrated blade, the regular blade, and the saw blade. That will be your 4 large tools. With this particular version of the Victorinox Spirit, you get the nice scissors, this nice one-handed blade, the saw blade, and then that really nice file. So very similar, you just don't get that serrated blade that's full size on the Victorinox Spirit. When we're talking about the inside tool segment, Wave versus the Spirit has can opener, this Phillips screwdriver that you can add an adapter on to make it 1/4 inch, the smaller screwdriver, the awl, chisel right here, large screwdriver, wire bender, wire stripper notches. Now with the Leatherman Wave, there is this bit driver, can opener, wire stripper, scissors on the inside, micro driver, and the large screwdriver. So yeah, I think both of these have an amazing tool set. Just what I want you to know is at the moment, the Spirit is cheaper and lighter weight and better quality, all for a very similar tool set capability. Pretty amazing when you think all that you're getting with the Victorinox Spirit. Really, really cool. Now let's go ahead and talk about a couple of the negatives with the Victorinox Spirit. Well, as you may have noticed during this video, it is extremely shiny. Yeah, really, really shiny. Very, very super reflective. I'm not a huge fan of that, but that is what you get with this version of the Spirit. The second thing that I think is a little negative is there is no bit driver. So there is no onboard bit driver, micro or large bit driver. There's no T-shank adapter. There's nothing where you can sort of add bits. That is a huge plus for a lot of people, but for me, I do like that modularity. Even if it's a small step toward modularity, I like that. Being a modder of tools, I do not like these rivets. You cannot adjust this tool. Those are a couple of the negatives, but they're not that big compared to all the huge pluses this tool has. I think it has an amazing amount of capability. Just the ability to access everything outside opening, that is huge. And I think this really offers an outsized amount of value for what it is. So make sure if you ever have questions, what is the tool that you should buy? What's the one tool? If you could only buy one tool and you wanted a lighter weight multi-tool, what should you buy? It's this right here, the Victorinox Spirit.